Hello, this is my attempt at fully autonomous rocket flight. All I'm doing here is just pressed the space bar to start the staging. And as you can see in the right hand side of the page, we have a Kerbal controller, a Cal 1000. Don't worry, this one doesn't say it. Sorry, I can't do that, Dave. Although it says F you a lot to me. As you can see at the very start, the Mechjeb 2, the second one down, that one is to set it into a to toggle on the ascent guidance, which I have set to an altitude of 100,000 meters with an orbit inclination of 0. And second from the bottom, you will see that was a SpaceX version of Super Rat, which is the main engine. And now it's going through the ascent guidance. And yes, I did time this out quite a few times. It takes 4 minutes, 10 seconds without the time sped up to get from launchpad to a stable orbit of 100,000 meters. And just to show you that we are serious about this flight, we not only brought Mo, Larry, and Curly, we also brought Shemp. So you know we're about business. And all I did there was changed where I had the camera aimed at so you could see the full ship. Nowhere in this mission, from leaving ground to landing back on Kerbal, did I do anything to control the rocket. Here we have the second stage. This is just a bit of a push to get us where we want. Notice that I do not have a full amount to get it into a stable orbit with this secondary engine. That's so that the second stage does not have a stable orbit, so it will fall back to Kerbal eventually. And this is where you find out, oh shoot, you need to reset your cam, which is what I'm doing right here. And please notice my flags. If found, please return to Kerbal. Yes, I put Kerbal instead of Kerbal. The third planet. I thought it was funny. Considering how much stuff I lose out in space, I figure if there is intelligent life out there, they might return it to me. And now you're going to see it's about to hit the Mechjeb 2. All that's going to do is put into a retrograde orbit. Or not retrograde, but aim at retrograde. Which it's doing now. And at the same time it started that, it also extended the solar panels. And because the legs were in the way of the doors, I had to put them down. At which time I realized that, if this was a real ship, I'd have to put my solar sails someplace else. And now we get to see the inside of my cargo bay. At which time I realized I did not put all 8 of the lights on the timer. I just put 2 of them. If you see the lighter gray in the center blackish stripe, those were all supposed to be lights. And here we have my satellite shooting out. You'll see that it has flashing red lights, so Jeb does not crash into it, hopefully. Here it automatically puts out its solar panels and deploys its dishes. That's all controlled by a separate Cal 1000 controller, which is on the satellite. And now the payload has been delivered into a stable orbit. Now, those are smart devices, which are what controls the launch, or everything on the ship. That one was for, what's in this? That's to turn on RCS, that's to brakes, air brakes. That one's for the main parachutes, that one is for the gear. So, I have one for, I also have a smart part that opens up the drogues as soon as it hits around about 600 meters per second on deceleration. So that way it can slow it all the way down. Although in doing this whole ship, I did forget one thing. I'll tell you what it is later. As you can see, it just hit, just finished closing up the cargo bay. The lights turned off. Landing legs are going up now. And it also hit the top Mechjeb, which is to engage the landing guidance so that it's supposed to land at the Kerbal space pad. But yes, we know Mechjeb doesn't always work so well. Or at least just for me. And now you'll see the air brakes coming up. Those are to help just slow it down and controlled chaos on re-entry. It does help slow down the rocket quite a bit. It also does help with the steering of it. I've noticed with those, it's a lot less weight than one of the huge reaction wheels. And when you have them set to help with steering, it just makes it so much easier for controlled descent on planets with the atmosphere. Have fun messing around with it. Give it a try. And yeah, you'll see that those, I have engines on radial mounted pods. I do that every now and then so that I can use a heating tile to cool off the majority of the bottom of the ship. Because if you just have a engine on top of a, or every time I just have an engine on top of the heat shield, the engine tends to go kaboom. But that's just me. Everyone has their own gremlins. And now we're floating over the sea of... Where are we now? Coming over the peninsula of... Are we there yet? Don't blame me for these names. Jeb named them all. Yeah, Jeb's also still floating somewhere in outer space. He's the reason our flags say, if found, please return to Kerbin. He hasn't been returned yet. Okay, the auto landing guidance likes what it sees, so it decides to hit the time warp for a brief moment of time. I must say, this was a fun challenge to get it so that everything was fully automated and quote unquote worked. Just think, NASA has to do this, and if they mess up, they lose billions of dollars. Such as when they try sending things to Mars and they get their units mixed up. Was it meters or was it feet? If you don't get that joke, you're not a space nut. Landing guidance didn't like where it was going because, spoiler alert, it would have landed on target if it didn't do that burn. And this is usually about where you go, oh please landing guidance, but first. You're supposed to go butt first. Don't belly flap. And then about here you're going, are you going to actually go butt first? Yay, you're going butt first. Woohoo! That's where all your protection is. And as you can see right there, if you look at the way that all the heat's going, you can see that those air brakes are actually doing quite a bit to help slow down the ship. I've had ships where I did not have air brakes on, and it would end up still hitting Kerbin no matter what I did at like 1,000 meters per second. Okay, more like 500 meters per second. Without any drogue chutes either, so it's like, oh crud! And as you can see, there's starting to be some overheating. Right there, you see it's one of the engine pods, which, if I were to put a couple cooling racks there, it would have fixed that. And I really can't tell what the other stuff was. Now you got, looks like the other 3 pods and one in the engine. I can't tell what that 5th thing was, but it's cooling down now. And this is where you notice, no, engage your motors, you're gonna overshoot, no, go down, hit the brakes, no, you're missing the launch pad, you're flying over it now, come on, deploy chutes. Well, I can see my house from here. Deploy the drogues. Will it do it? Will it make it? Oh no, it's too close to call. Hit the engines. Come on, Mechjeb, I could have done better than that. Well, looks like we're going boating. Now, this is the annoying thing. During this whole time watching this, while it was recording, I so badly wanted to interrupt the landing guidance and to shut off the RCS so I just wouldn't have to listen to it. It's like annoying. Now, I did have a smart device that is supposed to shut or turn on the RCS when it gets above 70,000 meters, and then shut them back off when it goes below 70,000 meters. However, with the landing guidance, it turns them back on because it's set to use for small adjustments. I need to get better glasses. I thought it said anal adjustments from here. And this is where I realized, whoa, dude, you're still going to have plenty of fuel left over, that you're not going to need as much parachutes because you'll still have just about just over 1.10 thrust to weight ratio, which, as you all know, you need over 1 thrust to weight ratio to get any lift straight up. Okay, and now the drogues have done all that. The drogues were set to open up at like 1,500 meters. That blue thing was because I got too close to the ship. It's for the landing guidance predictions. And then the main chutes had a smart device that opens them or releases them at 500 meters, and a smart part to open up or deploy the landing legs when descending from 100 meters. And this is where, Mechjeb uses the engines to actually slow my landing to 0.6. Now, if it was not for those, the parachutes alone would land me at somewhere around 8 to 9 meters per second. And this is the part I found funny. It landed perfectly for the hatch to be straight up. Couldn't have done that if I tried. Well, landed back on Kerbal safely. This is where I take over from the automated. Go ahead and shut off the brakes, close the landing gear. We are now a rocket boat. Take us home! Or at least close to it. Only if my boat would go this fast. Whoopsie? Whoopsie? Damn it, Dad! You went too fast! That's it, I'm getting out. Whee! You can't drown me. I got life support. Apparently, I only know the doggy paddle. Yes, there's my lovely flag again. Gotta put it on all the stuff you shoot into space. Yay, I'm back on land. Remove helmet. Oh no, plant flag first. I did this before I realized I was going to do an audio track. Yes, I'm a slow typer, I know. And I forgot a couple spaces. First, auto flight. Well, I'll just wait till I friggin' type it all. Well, thank you for tuning in and watching this whole thing. I hope you guys got a kick out of it. If you didn't watch it through this part, oh well, sucks to be you. It's not like I'm making anything off of this. Well, if I get a few laughs, that's all I want. Come on, Sarah, actually type. This is where I was wondering just what rating I was going to make this message. See, you do a radio show on Friday nights at gaming.now or gamingnow.net. Yeah, gamingnow.net at starting at 6 p.m. Central Time as DJ Ham. And those shows are usually adult content or swears enabled, but I only swear if it adds to what I'm saying, not just to swear. Okay, so it says, well, we almost landed back at base, but somebody downloaded some malware that messed up the coordinates of the launch pad. So we went for a ride on a rocket boat. To get back to base. That's with an S. Thank you. Next time, we have to do that, or next time we have to do that, my navigator gets to water ski behind the rocket, or behind us, at full speed. Well, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And pay no attention to what was on my desktop. And there's another look at my lovely flag. There, take off helmet. Hair is still on fleek, as my daughter used to say about 10 years ago. Let's see what happens when we climb on the pole. Whee! Nothing.